gentlemen, my name is Than, aka the Blind Tank, and I want to say welcome back to episode 3B, Blizz Con recap, and finishing up everything that we've gotten heard and seen in Blizz Con. So let's get started. Alright, first thing before I get into all the news and everything that you guys want to hear about, I want to say congratulations to all the esports winners from the Hearthstone, from World of Warcraft 3-man's, StarCraft esports, and also the very first this year's Heroes of the Storm World Champions. I want to say congratulations to Cloud9 for being the first ever Heroes of the Storm World Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, esports in Heroes of the Storm are not, let me say this again, are not, and Cloud9 proved it this weekend that the Asian bloc is not the dominating force of esports, because the United States won Heroes of the Storm. Cloud9, congratulations. Team DK did an awesome freaking job. I saw them beat Team Braveheart the night before, and God, they were phenomenal. It was two champions going against two champions on Saturday with Team DK and Team Cloud9. It was awesome. I mean, Cloud9 dominated all three games that they played against Team DK. There were some ups and downs. I mean, they made it. These guys made a great show, and I just want to say congratulations to. Again, congratulations to Cloud9. You guys did an awesome job. They are now, ladies and gentlemen, in Korea, getting ready to go against the Korean teams for Heroes of the Storm in the starting world tour. So cheer them on. Keep to the news. See how these guys are doing. Cheer on your team, and again, congratulations to these guys. I also want to say the end of the of BlizzCon at the closing of it, Linkin Park. Linkin Park was freaking great. I'm a fan of Linkin Park, but I'm even a bigger fan of Linkin Park. They didn't really know how they were going to be received by a gaming community. In fact, they had said it near the end of their concert. They didn't know how we were going to act, and they had a lot of fun with us. We had a lot of fun with them, and to reward that, Linkin Park went and did one of their new songs that haven't been released for BlizzCon. So, it was really freaking cool. They did a little bit of a speech right before they did that song, and Linkin Park hit it out of the park. I liked last year's band, and I really liked Linkin Park. So big shout out to these guys. Now let's get into the World of Warcraft news, because I know that you guys have been waiting bated breath for this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I get into all the good stuff that we had heard from the Q&A, I want to get into something really quick. I don't want to be a downer. I don't want to be somebody pointing fingers of people being, buttheads or whatever you want to call it. But there was two things that had happened this weekend that I want to address. And to me, I think it needs to be addressed. I think it needs to be looked at, and I think as a community, we need to look at these people and go, you know what, we've had enough. First of all, let's talk about the World of Warcraft one first. Every questions that was asked to a panel is, are we going to get flying? No, you are not going to be getting flying at the beginning of at the beginning of Legion. We've had how many expansions now? And they've gone ever since Wrath of the Lich King. They saw a problem with it and they fixed it. These guys have gone and done a lot of work on the expansion. They want you to see it, not fly by it. And for those of you who go, well, you know, hey, I've spent 5 and 10 and whatever thousands of gold. It's gold. Check out the stuff that has been done for you, for us gamers. Blizzard is going to be going and making now 7.0 flying is not going to be dropping. 7.1, 7.2, whatever, it's coming down the line, and it's going to be an achievement that you get just like Warlords of Draenor, like the Pathfinder, but you'll be able to do it early on, getting it early on in the game. So, of course, we're going to need, reputation stuff that we need to get done. We got explorer stuff that we need to get done, and we need questing stuff. So that's 3 parts before that patch, the flying patch, comes out. So you have somewhere between 2-3 months or even longer to get those things done. So what? Those of you who are whining and complaining about it, quit whining and complaining about it. You know, the rest of us have gone and heard this in an entire freaking expansion with Warlords of Draenor. We have tirelessly gone and said, shut the hell up, please. For me, I've heard this crap so much, I went and said, fuck it, I'm not, and excuse my language, this is a family show. I've just said, the heck with it. I'm not flying, period. I've had it. I don't want to hear any more of it. Warlords of Draenor, I'm not flying in you. It can kiss my behind. I am protesting the whiners and complainers. Now, 7.0 comes out, no flying. 7.1, maybe flying. 7.2 comes out. We may or may not have flying. Quit your whining. Quit acting like a bunch of children that are doing this. And ladies and gentlemen, it isn't the entire community that is whining about this. It is this 1-2% of people that are complaining about it. And you know what? Who cares? I'm tired of hearing them whine and complain. As a community, we need to do something and say, hey, shut the hell up. That's just my opinion. The next thing that had happened was with Overwatch. People from Overwatch, they were on during the Q&A session of it. They were asked a point-blank question. Is there going to be some type of same-sex relationship with with any of the heroes? You know, Hero A and Hero B are in a same-sex relationship. Is there going to be one? The panel kind of stepped back and was like, "Damn, we don't really want to." And one of the guys that was there, I don't remember what his name is. One of the guys stepped up and said, "Yes, there's going to be one. We're not going to tell you who it is because the story hasn't been flushed out yet, and we're doing it as this comes along. We will let you know." And of course, Twitter exploded, Facebook exploded. People went and were saying, People were complaining about it. And first of all, I want to say a big shout out to the developer that went and said, yes, it's happening. I want to say, hey, good job. Thank you very much for standing up and saying, yes, this is something that is in our social culture. And hey, if it's in our social culture, it might as well be in our games. It's their opinion. It's their way of developing the game. They had to put it not only through Blizzard, but they also had to put it through their producers. The producer said it was okay. So they vetted it, and it was good. The people who are complaining about it are, this is too much real life stuff, that I don't want to see this kind of stuff in my games. Well, you know what? Kiss my behind. We have fellow gamers that are in relationships. It doesn't matter if it's same sex, if it's different sex, or whatever the hell it is. It's not your freaking business, And if it comes into our game, it comes into our game. This thing is something that doesn't need to be, needs to be discussed, or argued about or trolled about in a game. You have opinions of this, and again, let me say this: everybody has opinions. I have opinions. You all have opinions, but you know what? Opinions are like butts. They all smell. Opinions and butts, they smell. And these people who went on Facebook, went on Twitter, and attacked Overwatch for going and saying, hey, yes, there is a relationship that's going on with two of our heroes that are going on. They did it. I applaud them. They're standing up for it. And I also applaud the developer that went and said, yes, we're doing it. For those of you who are all about it and starting all kinds of problems about it, guess what? I think you need to just go away, shut the hell up. If you don't like what's in the game, you don't like what it represents, you don't like that type of situation in your game, don't play it. Don't get involved in it. One of the things that this weekend in Blizz Con that was done up was hashtag play nice, play fair. That means everybody. That means all of the games. That means, hey, I may have a different opinion than you do. I may have different thinking. I may be I may think differently socially than you do. But when we're in here, in these games, in the things that Blizzard is giving us, the first and foremost thing is we play nice and we play fair. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the golden rule. If I want respect from you, I give you respect so you can give it back to me. Okay? Excuse me. So enough of that. And I think very seriously of all the different stuff that has been going on, especially these people that are whining and complaining and just doing all these kinds of just irritating crap and nauseous shit. And excuse me again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a family show, and I'll try to curb my my language, but this has to be said. I think I need to do something on the show to put at the end of the show. One of the podcasts that I used to belong to, Vote to Kick, we used to have at the end of the show, we used to have our shout outs. We used to have a vote to kick. I need to do something like that. Something that irritates the crap out of me. I need to name it. Not vote to kick, but I'll come up with something. Because need to get that kind of stuff off my chest. Because, real life stuff, in-game stuff, it just, there's different things that just absolutely grinds my gears, and I just want to voice it. And again, it's my opinion. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into World of Warcraft. Enough of my ranting and things like that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I just needed to get that off my chest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some of the things that happened in the last day of Blizz Con. That was the Q&A. Q&A, first person that's up in front of the panel. You got it, red shirt guy. He asked a really good question about Trillian and the two people that have always been asked about for as many BlizzCons as that I've seen or that I've read about. These two people that the red shirt guy has been asked about, they will be the elf and the human that were lost in the original being in Hellfire and being left behind. We're going to find them, and there is a story going on with it. What we have been told that there not only is there a story arc about it, but it's also going to change our mind about some different things that are going on. I want to see this. And there's what I understand from the panel that had happened. We're going to hear more, and it'll be coming up soon. Now, the next thing that I want to say before I go into the next bullet point, onto the next bullet point, is Blizzard. Some way, somehow, you really need to give the red shirt guy a job. I mean, this guy. He goes in. Hold on a minute. Cat's whining. The next thing, like I said, Blizzard, you really need to give this guy a job, either as help out in lore, because this guy stumps you. I mean, this year you guys were ready for him. I mean, you guys boned up for whatever he was going to ask you guys. And you guys did really good by answering his questions and things like that. But he gets you guys every year. And yes, I mean, he's in Iron Forge as the red shirt guy and, lore, whatever it is. But there needs to be something more. I mean, come on. He's really cool guy, and I don't know him, but I love it when he comes up and it's like, hey, you can see the panel go, oh shit. But anyway, let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about is the artifacts. The artifacts, yes. If you want to, I'm going to give you an example. If I want to do my say I want to go through Legion with Dre as a tank, I can go in and not only get the sword and board for my tanking, but I also can get, because I play Fury, I can also get my two-handed weapons. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Fury Warriors will not have the one-handed swords. They will have the two-handed. They're making the swords bigger. Two-handed Fury Titan isn't going anywhere. Titan is staying, and the artifact is going to be wrapped around Titan. So that's freaking awesome. Thank you very much, Blizzard. And you can level each one of these. May take longer, but those that want to do it, they can do it. Here's the next thing. I've been saying for years now, God, I need my rating spec, I need my PvP spec, I need my DPS spec. Blizzard, please just give me one more ability and one more way to go and have my own spec. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting it for Legion. we're basically getting 3 specs. Your main spec, your off spec, and third spec. So basically, like with me, I've got my tank spec, I've got my fury spec, and now I'll have my my PvP spec. Now everybody is going to be getting that. Demon Hunters, sorry guys, you guys only get 2 specs, so you only get to the off spec and main spec. However, for druids, you'll be getting a possibility of 4. And what I mean by that, you'll have your boomy, you'll have your healing, you'll have your feral, and if you're doing feral tanking, you'll also have the bear side. So you basically have 4. There's going to be more news about class changes and spec things and things like that. Check out MMO Champions. They're going to be going all week long, and even more as they're deep diving into a lot of this stuff on MMO Champions. In fact, they're doing it now. I'm looking at MMO Champions right now to make sure that I'm not saying anything that I shouldn't be saying. So again, MMO Champions, to check out your spec and how these artifacts and these specs are going to be working. Speaking of specs, there's going to be a lot of reworking on the specs. One, for an example, is demonology. Demonology is going to be basically a summoner's type of spec. They've reworked it, and the example that they gave was demonology goes and throws down a hand of Gul'dan. As the hand of Gul'dan is down, it's going to proc imps to fight for you. You'll be able... everything that you have as you're doing the demonology, you'll be able to summon demons upon demons, because that's what you're supposed to be doing as a demonology warlock. For those that are affliction, you're all about cursing the crap out of everybody. So that is they're going to make it for, the spec. Your spec is going to feel like what it's supposed to be. It's going to have the fantasy back in it. Not only that, for priests, healers, all your holy priests, all of your prayers, all of your big heals that we used to have, because my second character is a priest, and I play holy and shadow. The fantasy with the holy priest, it's coming back. It's those big heals, those big crit heals of going and saying, okay, my tank is almost dead, I can hit the huge heal, I crit, they're back up to full health. There's a lot of other stuff that's going on. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, there is no longer any chakras. Thank you very much, Blizzard. I hated that crap. The discipline is going to be a damage / heal based type of healing. They're big shields and absorbs and stuff like that. They're not going away, but they're being nerfed. They're being nerfed big time. You won't have those 6 million freaking or 20 shields going up all over the place. There's going to be an expense of it and a time limit of or a big cooldown on what is going to be happening. Now, real quick, on to Shadow. Shadow is being completely reworked. There is no more mana for Shadow. It's going to be based off of insanity. And the more insanity that you have, you're going to, your Shadow look is going to get darker. You're going to have things growing up out of you. Your spells are going to get stronger. And again, it's going to be one of those things. It's bringing back the the fantasy of a Shadow Priest. And they had said this on the panel. Shadow Priests are like the poor brother of the Affliction Warlock. They're changing it. They're changing the look of what it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go. I'm really liking this. The class places that you'll be able to go for, like, give an example of the demon hunters. Demon hunters will be able to speak demonic to talk to the other factions. So you guys that are going in being demon hunters, yes, you can talk to the other faction. However, if there is problems starting, there won't be any more of that. So behave yourselves, because you are going to be the ones that are the test subjects for us all to be able to do different, and to be able to talk to the other faction. So behave yourself. The professions are going to be more viable, and I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm jumping around on different stuff. But I don't want this to be a 4-hour show, so I'm trying to go as fast and give you guys enough information to give you enough so you'll go to MMO Champions or wherever you go to get your information. Blizz Watch is another really good site, Blizzard Watch. Check that one out. Check out MMO Champions. I kind of check out the forums for for World of Warcraft. Only read the blue post. Leave the rest of the crap alone because, well, it's a cesspool over there. I don't go there because, of course, cesspool. But again, let me reiterate something. The professions are not going to be like what Warlords was. They're going to be more meaningful. They're going to have more of a power structure to it. There's going to be, I forget exactly what the new forge is going to be called. So, and I'll give you an example how to use this forge. Basically, I go and make 5 belts for Dre. I get one of the belts procs that, hey, this is good for tanking. I keep that. Well, what do I do with the other 4? Do I sell them? Do I send them to another alt to DE them? Well, guess what? That new belt that I just made, I can take those other 4 belts over to the new forge, have the forge basically DM to like a dust, go and take that dust and throw it on to the new onto the new belt to make it more powerful. I see some really good stuff with this where it could be a really good thing, especially for those who like doing a lot of min-maxing, and that I can see that can and cannot be a challenge. Can or cannot be a challenge, but we'll see. Like I said, one of the big things that is coming out, especially this next week with World of Warcraft, is every day they're going to be talking about the different changes of your class, be it hunter, be it warrior, be it death knight, or anything like that. So again, check out MMO Champions, check out Blizzard Watch. These are the 2 big sites that I support because these 2 sites, they know what they're talking about. They know how to bring it forward and to get us understanding what we're supposed to be doing, getting ready for the next expansion, or as we're working in an expansion. Okay, before I close out the show, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something else, and that is called Transmog. We are finally getting a couple of things. First, all those tabards that we have had since the beginning of Blizzard. Those ones that were like, I'm not getting rid of it. There's no way. Because one of these days I'm going to need it. I mean, I'll give you a prime example. The Wrath event. I have, on one of my characters, I have the tabard from the Wrath event. I have some other tabards you can't get anymore. Basically, what is going to be happening is as soon as the pre-patch drops, Blizzard has gone and let us all know that anything and everything that you have gotten from quests, meaning quest items, meaning old things that we had to get rid of, we are going to have it, and it will be in its own tab. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you guys to think of is if you've played D3, and in that I think their transmog meets Mogget. So take Mogget, if you know what that is. Take Mogget and D3, put them together, and you have the new transmog system. They'll all be in pages. Anything and everything that you want to transmog, it will be in there. From past armor, swords, things like that. For me, one of the swords that I really miss is the ZA log sword that I got on my rogue when it was back in BC. I loved those swords. I had to give them up. Guess what? I get to have them. One of the things that I was really happy about is the not Wrath event, but the one of the raids where you fought the Coliseum event for right before we went into ICC. When you fought the Alliance and the Horde, if you were the faction fight, there was a possibility of that dropping. It was either that or the undead angel chicks. You had a chance of getting a sword that dropped that was only Horde. It looked freaking awesome. I loved that sword. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my my Twitch channel. There's a replica of it on the top left corner of it. You'll see it as I'm streaming. That to me is just absolutely the most awesome looking sword, especially for a Fury Warrior. However, when I went back to being Alliance, the sword changed to the Alliance crappy looking sword. I will be able to get that sword back when Legion comes out, so that's freaking cool. If you don't like, and here's the other thing, is if you don't like the look of your new artifact, you can transmog over it. You can also transmog your artifact onto other types of items. I mean, other, say I got a baby priest, and I don't like what the staff looks like or whatever. I can go and transmog my artifact to look like that. I look like the artifact at the low levels. They may change that, they may not, but as of now, I can transmog it over to my low level characters because I have it. I've got it in the system. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those things that you really need to get more involved in reading. Again, it's a lot of information that was thrown at us this weekend. The Again, check out Blizzard Watch, MMO Champions for all of this stuff. There's going to be, and I want to wrap this up real quick with everything. The release date for release right now, hashtag soon, it will be released by September 6th, 2016. God, I really freaking hope not. They're saying September 2016, but they're also saying between summer and September. So between June and September, we may have Legion. Excuse me. The other thing they're going to be talking about here soon is the artifact weapons. There's going to be a complete blog, and I mean Blizzard is going to be talking about a complete and deep dive on the artifact weapon, on all the different classes, what it means, and how you can upgrade it, and different quests that are going to be involved with that weapon. Also, there's going to be another thing with the Legion armor sets. There's going to be a blog and a soon glimpse at what the Legion sets are going to look like. And the different game systems that are going to be happening. What I'm understanding, ladies and gentlemen, with this, you know, how we were like, oh dear God, garrisons, we got to do our garrison stuff, and we got to do this, we got to do that, what a lot of people were complaining about. It's not going to be like that. However, you're going to have enough to do. Even at max level, you're already rating, you're already got your stuff. There's enough stuff to do to upgrading your weapon and getting different types of looks that are going on with your weapon, that you shouldn't go and say, dear God, I'm freaking bored because I got nothing to do. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost at the 40-minute mark. I've gone over a little bit longer than what I wanted to do. However, let me say this first and foremost. Thank you very much for listening. For the next few weeks, I'm going to my stream on this a lot about different things that Blizzard is coming out with, not only with Legion, but also with Heroes of the Storm, with Overwatch, with Diablo 3. We didn't even get into a lot of stuff with Diablo 3 here in a few weeks. There's going to be a 2.4 patch. They're going to be doing more things with Diablo. So stay tuned for my streams, my podcasts, as I go and dive deeper into what is coming. Hopefully, I get into Overwatch to see if I can actually play it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Normally, first-person shooters give me vertigo because of my sight. I'm hoping Overwatch doesn't. That's why I want to get into the beta before I spend that $40, because some of the everything I've seen I really like. But again, watch and keep in tune with my streams. Keep in touch with my podcast, because there's going to be more and more stuff coming out, and I'm going to be doing a lot more deep diving into what is coming out. So again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I want to also give a huge shout out to Theo, Calc underscore KT. Thank you very much for the tea that I got. I just absolutely love it. I'm gonna put a pic up to show everybody what you sent me, because it's freaking awesome. I want to say a big shout out to Chilli, Emerald Sky, and all of my guildmates in ROA. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of Dre's Corner. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Remember, play nice, play fair. And ladies and gentlemen, I am out of here. Emmy, hit the music. Let's go do something.